Dragon Ball Super, every god of destruction from weakest to most powerful. No 10. Liquier, most people would forget about Liquiar's existence after the minor level of screen time he enjoys in the Tournament of Power. His generic design does him no favors and makes him one of the most boring gods of destruction on this list. He's shown glimpses of his personality in this arc, but they've been nowhere near enough to quantify the power he wields. There's nothing notable that can be said about this forgettable character. Suffice it to say, Liquiar's presence is not worth mentioning in the events of Dragon Ball Super. Given how the manga's story has progressed since the end of this anime, it's likely that this character will become nothing more than a footnote in this great series. Number 9. Rumshi. Rumshi certainly has one of the more striking character designs on the show. He is an intimidating figure who will waste no time in accomplishing his duties as the god of destruction. That's why it's a shame that Rumshi doesn't play a major role in Dragon Ball Super. Just like the other destroyer gods that are introduced, Rumshi ends up fading into obscurity as events unfold. That being said, he is known for having the strongest lungs in the universe. However, lungs themselves aren't enough to defeat an enemy, and it seems that his brawn doesn't match up with this rather odd power. Number 8. Gin. There's no denying that Gin has a ton of potential as a strong god of destruction. Unfortunately, his lack of screen time means that Gin doesn't manage to fulfill this potential. Given how benevolent Gin appeared to be, it would have been intriguing to see a destroyer god who valued human life. Unfortunately, his role in the Tournament of Power was nowhere near as prominent. While his confidence is impressive, one thing that fans noticed about Gin is that he's way more in the anime than in the manga. It's a small change, but a notable one regardless, that hints towards the fact that he could just be a tad bit weaker in the manga than his iteration on the show. Number 7. Helis. Helis is one of the most unique gods of destruction. Her character design makes her seem like a godly Cleopatra, which was probably a conscious decision. She's one of the few gods of destruction who cares about her subjects, which is a rarity for any divine being in this profession. While her universe does put up a good fight, it ultimately succumbs to the might of some of the more powerful universes in the series. However, Helis doesn't let her final moments be ones of grief and regret. She bids farewell with a smile on her face. Number 6. Mule. Mule is a pretty crafty god of destruction. He knows when to use both his brains and brawn, making him a fearsome foe. The universe he looked over ended up getting knocked out a fair way into the Tournament of Power. While he's initially disappointed, he still says goodbye with his head held high. He does look rather goofy as he talks from within his robot, Mosco, but that's just a facade that hides his true strength. He's an extremely smart destroyer god and can win a battle of wits against his brethren. Number 5. Catella. Catella is one of the most annoying gods of destruction. He's extremely crafty and doesn't mind stooping as low as possible to get the job done. The pathetic manner in which he reacted moments before his erasure was proof enough of just how unlikable he is. That being said, his manipulative personality perfectly complements his massive power level. Not all gods of destruction need to be valiant, brave, or honorable. The job is only to destroy planets, not to be heroic. So, in a way, there's nothing wrong with Quatella's deception, even if it may not suit a deity of his impressive statue. Number 4. Sidra. Sidra is another strong god of destruction who is highly intriguing. He seems to follow the rules and harbors great disdain for disrespectful people like Goku. It was only to be expected that Sidra would tastefully endure his demise. This is precisely what he does, with the god of destruction letting out nary a peep before being erased by Zeno. That being said, props should be given to this god for harboring amazing defensive powers. While most people agree that a good defense makes for a great offense, the same might not apply in the godly realm that Sidra operates in. Number 3. Champa. Aside from Beerus, Champa enjoys the most screen time as a strong god of destruction. It helps that he's closely related to Beerus and hates his brother with a passion as well. He is an interesting god, clearly hiding massive power that can annihilate everyone with ease. While he might be the butt of many jokes in the series, that shouldn't take away from his imposing personality. Perhaps the only thing that takes away from this character is that he's pretty much a beefier carbon copy of Beerus. This relegates him to more of a comedic role, which makes him seem less intimidating compared to the other gods on this list. Number 2. Belmod. Universe 11 is considered by everyone to be the strongest out of all the known universes. So, it's easy to see why the god of destruction reigning over this universe is impressive in his own right. After all, a universe with the Pride Troopers and someone as powerful as Jiren shows that a destroyer god is highly efficient at their job. Belmod has wasted no time in weeding out the low-powered members of the universe to leave the strongest ones standing. Belmod's character design is another striking aspect of this figure. He feels like a version of the Joker that was interpreted into the events of Dragon Ball Super, and he makes his presence known whenever he's in the spotlight. No one Beerus. Given how impressive Beerus has been for someone who reigns over a weak universe, it's only fair to give this spot to him. He surprised everyone during the Destroyer God sparring session by showing how powerful he is. Viewers haven't seen everything that Beerus is capable of, although the chances that he'll show this power are slim, given just how destructive he is. It's possible that the entire universe he's reigning over would collapse if he decides to get serious. His introduction is already the stuff of legends, and it seems that Beerus will continue to expand his amazing legacy. Only time will tell what new tricks he'll get up to further down the line.